A lot of you guys text like kids. LOL, ha ha ha, memes, joking, laughing. What part of your life do you take seriously?
This kind of advice is the reason the red pill movement has created a lot more socially inept and uncalibrated men. Because I can tell you from experience, I have hee-heed and ha-ha'd my way into so much pussy it's not even funny. In my free course, I have an entire section dedicated to texting. And there's a lot of ha-has in those texts, I'll tell you that right now. In fact, fuck a text. Unlike this guy with the lipstick, I can actually show you videos of me existing with women and having fun. Okay, bitch, why am I holding this way? People shouldn't be seeing that. Let's keep this shit PG. They shall belong to me. I shall rule them all. Insert evil guy laugh here. I can't do that shit. Ha 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 ha. I wish there was like a J signal out here.
What?
A J signal.
What is that?
Bitch, you don't know I'm a superhero?
Well, I did know that.
They call me the Rizzler.
Shut up.
Rizzle me this, Batman!
The Rizzler.
It turns out women actually want to have fun, which is why they respond well to men that don't take themselves seriously. Now granted, there's something to be said for being a source of validation to women, but you do have to reward her for chasing your validation. That's the entire point of operant conditioning. Sure, women should take you seriously, but if you're too concerned with that, there's no way they're having fun around you. And they need to not just be having a good time around you, but know that you're having a good time around them. I'm telling you, if you keep listening to these red pill guys that clearly don't know how to exist around women, you will take on their bad habits and become inhospitable and seriously socially uncalibrated.
You guys usually take advice from your guy friends, but this is coming from a girl, so trust me, I know what I'm talking about.
No, you don't. You're a girl. You've never had to approach a girl a day in your life. Your POV is entirely different. And even if you're interested in girls and you approach girls, you've never had to do an approach from inside a meat suit like this. Try making an approach when a woman's natural instinct is to not feel safe around you. Go ahead, I dare you. But you know what? That's just me whining. I apologize. Please proceed.
Number 1, don't talk about hooking up or insinuate that you want to in the beginning. Being a girl, I know how many compliments we get on our bodies and surface level things in general.
Okay, alright, you know what? That's actually really good advice. In fact, I've said things just like that in previous videos. You can't telegraph too much interest too soon, especially with women that highly desirable. All that'll do is relegate you to the category of every other guy that catcalled her that day.
What is going to make you stand out is trying to get to know the real her first and then adding all the extra benefits. Also, pro tip, the fact that you are not falling at her feet and that you are different from other guys is going to make her want you even more. Play the long game.
I see what you did there. You snuck in your own agenda. Sneaky, sneaky. You want guys to play the long game so they can take it slow with you, huh? Even though in reality, that is the fastest way to get into the friend zone. Listen, fellas, the key is to not telegraph interest too soon. That much is true. But if you take too long to telegraph interest and show intent, then she's just naturally going to put you in the friend zone. You shouldn't give her your validation right away. You should make her earn it. But you'll be wasting your time trying to get to know her if you don't establish the sexual tension. Which is a nice segue into the second point she's going to make.
Number 2, communicate with her when you're not going to be on your phone. Girls are literally massive overthinkers and a little bit delusional. Our minds will literally jump to conclusions when you're not talking to us. So to ease our nerves, just let us know if you're not going to be on your phone. Communication is key.
That is definitely top 10 some of the worst dating advice I've literally ever heard. And the reason for that is quite simple. It breaks the fundamental laws of attraction. Tension, fear, anxiety are the prerequisite to attraction. They are a natural part of how attraction actually works. You telling her when you're not going to be able to communicate with her will relieve her of anxiety, which will naturally kill attraction. Old school pickup artists would always say, a woman falls in love with you when you're not around. It's in those moments where she's wondering where you are, what you're doing, and who you're doing it with, that her anxiety and sense of urgency go up, and therefore her attraction for you grows. That's how she misses you and thinks about you, and eventually overthinks herself into loving you. A huge reason old school relationships used to be so successful is because of the many different points of anxiety and consequences that surrounded these relationships, especially with regards to the lack of technology. Imagine having a relationship where you knew this could be the last time you had time to spend with your loved one. How much more precious would each moment with them be? Oh, and side note, if you share your location on your phone with your woman, that's why she doesn't respect you. She knows where you're gonna be. You predictable fuck. Now, with all that said, I don't really blame her giving this advice. I don't think she was maliciously going out of her way to give bad advice. But she is a woman, and on a biological level, their biological imperative is the exact opposite of ours, which means she's gonna give you advice that'll benefit her, not you. I'm gonna leave you with this. You can't get a woman the way she wants to be gotten. This is a very results-oriented game, and you gotta do what actually works.
Here's the reason why a lot of dudes cold approach. They're ugly. If you want to know the truth, I call it like it is. The reason why dudes, approach is because nothing will happen unless you approach. You an ugly ass motherfucker. You ain't sharp. You're not a handsome
Smells like bitch to me. I never thought I'd hear anyone, much less a dating coach, tell men not to approach women, but here we are. And then on top of that, try to virtual signal not approaching women. What the hell? Bro really said, if you're ugly and can't get women online, then you have to cold approach. Like it was a bad thing. Anyone that's done cold approach and online dating successfully knows that cold approach is king. The only people that talk down on cold approaching are people that can't cold approach. And I personally think it's quite pathetic for any grown man, especially one that looks like he has 10 years on me, to try to mask their weakness like a strength instead of addressing the weakness. Really think about it. Across all industries, what kind of coach will tell you not to acquire a skill? That's like a trainer saying, the reason you have to go to the gym is because you're not black and you don't have fast twitch muscle. Bro, regardless of who you are, you're supposed to hit the gym for your muscle functionality and aesthetics. It kind of reminds me of that age-old debate about marketing versus sales. And in case you don't know the answer to that question, the answer is sales. Why? Because sales is the actual science and art of convincing people to exchange your goods and services for their hard-earned money. That is the actual way you get cash flow and profitability. Marketing, on the other hand, is the vehicle with which you use to propagate the awareness of your goods and services. And you can't pit the vehicle against the passenger. That's stupid. Same thing with dating. I don't care how good your online game is. I don't care how good you are at talking to women over the phone. And I definitely don't care how many matches you can get on a daily basis. If you can't interact with women in real life, all of your online work was in vain. And cold approach, till this day, still remains the best way to learn how to interact with women well. Anyone that would tell you otherwise is a charlatan and doesn't know how to approach women. Not to mention lacking in self-awareness, because women don't even respect men to say stuff like that. It's been Jason, your favorite scientist, and do with this information what you must.